Delegate Assembly will come to order. Let's all rise and face the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see a good turnout. While we're getting a law enforcement report, could you please be looking at your minutes? Sir, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Good morning. How you guys doing today? Good. How are you? All right. So I guess the heat has officially kicked in overdrive right now. It's getting really hot. We want to remind everybody from PBSO to make sure you guys hydrate. We do respond out to medical calls with the fire department, but we have seen an increase in some heat transactions with some of you people, you good folks here. So we just want to make sure you guys stay hydrated. The weather is a little funny right now, so you'll go out and it's like 72 if you get a good early morning walk at 6 a.m. and then right about 9:30 is already 85 degrees. So you got to be careful. I mean, it's spiking. It seems like 10 degrees every hour. So just be careful. All right. So we'll go right into the traffic report. So traffic for the month of April, we did a total of 35 traffic stops, and we wrote a total of 47 citations, okay? There were six written warnings, 1 verbal, and there were 4 reported accidents in the village that we took part in, okay? Next report, calls for service. We responded to 248 calls for service in the village, and we took 41 cases, and those are actual documented reports that we felt that we had to write. Most of the calls are, 911 hangups, residence checks. They do, when they come in here, they hit that little button on the computer, and it counts as a call for service. We come in here and we patrol, so we do a lot of patrol and active patrol in the village. Now we're gonna go straight to the reports of interest, okay? Now we did have a report of 1 residential burglary, okay, and it occurred in the laundry room area, and basically somebody said they were, I guess, in the process of doing their laundry, put a set of coins down. I don't know if you guys would be careful about that. Turned their back to go do something, maybe grab some more detergent, softener, I don't know, and all their coins were missing. So they made a report, and we take any kind of theft seriously, so we still came out for that. We do our due diligence, we check cameras, we see what we can find, and if we can go forth, we'll make contact with the perpetrator. There was 1 report of vandalism, and that wasn't in any property. That was more on the outside fence area where we noticed that the gate was cut in. So I think probably one of your roving security guards caught it, and then they reported it, so we went ahead and documented it. Okay, so now here we're going to go back to a big topic that's been a topic on and off in the village, fraud. Okay, we went back up. We had some incidences of fraud here. We had 1 person who wired some money to somebody they thought was a family member. Ended up not being their family member, okay? We had another person who did a similar withdrawal from a checking account, giving away $2,000 to another person that they thought was related in their circle. And then here's a big one. Somebody handed over almost $65,000 worth of stock investments, okay? So listen, the fraud, it doesn't go away. They get more sophisticated. They find ways. Here, I'll tell you guys a quick story. I had a brief encounter on Facebook myself. Somebody posted a picture of an aunt of mine and sent me a friend request. Okay, and I just was like, when did she update her page? I actually accepted, and the next thing they asked me a couple questions. I was like, this is not my aunt. All right, let me delete. But this is what they'll do. They'll use photos of family members, your grandson. They'll do anything, and sometimes you have to check. Your grandson might already have a Facebook account, and they'll send you another one with his face on it, and you love your grandson, right? And then he asks you for a couple things, but I don't think your grandson who's 12 is going to ask you for Bitcoin, okay? So we got to be careful about that. So these schemes are still out there. Obviously, in these cases, what we do, our due diligence is once you guys become a victim or anyone becomes a victim, we do our part in trying to see if we can help identify the perpetrator. We've had some success in getting some people's money returned and catching, but the other thing is this, we're not always successful because this is the facts of the matter. These people that are committing fraud or these entities, a lot of them are out of the country, okay? They're calling from foreign countries, so we can try our best and stop the bleeding for you per se, but we can't. We need you guys to be diligent and try to pay a little attention to some of these schemes and scams that are coming out, and they're targeting you guys, and they're specific towards, unfortunately, they're specific towards the elderly community. And on the flip side, we see different fraud schemes involving young adults and teenagers. That's a whole nother separate issue. I don't think we have any of those issues here, but you got to be careful of that, okay? And that's it for the report.
Thank you very much.
Sir, could you give us details by any chance of that 55K fraud so that we would know what to look for, if it's possible?
Well, here the detail we have here, obviously I can't give up the names and stuff like that, but the detail is basically this company contacted this person in this community about some investment properties, and what they're doing, or investments rather. A new scheme that's becoming more popular right now is obviously they go down the list, and the same person, I'm just saying, for lack of a better term, we're just going to call them a person because we don't know who they are. They'll try different things. They may try the grandchild scheme. They'll call a couple people, enough people, and there's some people here that we've already known that will hang up on them, tell them don't call back. They're very diligent, but then they'll go down a different one. They'll find a new scheme. Hey, here you can invest in this property. This is a new build in Florida. This is, the new condos coming up better than what you have here in Century Village. Some updated stuff. If you jump in early, you jump in right now, you can get in at this deal, and they see who takes the bait. And then what happens is somebody eventually, hopefully it's none of you in here, somebody in here takes the bait, they do the investment, and then you're expecting all this literature back, right? You're expecting the email communications to consider it, and all of a sudden it ceases. That person that was so friendly, that was talking to you for a couple weeks to get you to go apart with the deal, all of a sudden they stop. And I think this is the case here with this situation. It ended early. The person was alerted because they were expecting, now they were expecting to receive some information back. They were expecting to get some things coming towards them that did not come. They were alerted. We got involved. Not only in this district, which is District 3, your captain is Captain Palenzuela. He's at a meeting right now. We have Detective Bureau, we have a Street Crimes Bureau, and then we have Community Policing. But we also, in the Sheriff's Office, we have a whole Financial Crimes Division. That's all they do. These people know how to follow the money. And we will move it up as quickly as we can to get you guys the assistance that you need as soon as possible. And then our goal is obviously to get them arrested if we can. Okay, and that's the steps that we try to take. But in this case, the schemes are very... They vary every summer. I mean, it's summertime, it picks up. Wintertime, you're going to guys see, you guys are going to get ready till the holiday season comes. Be careful. And it's Mother's Day, right? Okay? The schemes come, hey, grandma, mom, they're going to call, they're going to ask for things for Mother's Day. They every time there's a holiday, they're going to follow it and they're going to come through. And the biggest time, like I said, unfortunately, was Christmas time. We were seeing the gift cards, the fraudulent gift cards being passed out, and you guys are givers. You guys are really good. I mean, some of you guys, I wish you guys were my family members. You guys are givers, okay? But you got to be careful, all right? Just take care of it.
On the handicap placards that go on the rearview mirror, should people be driving with them on? Should I say driving?
No. You could listen. This is one of those things. Obviously, you would like to take them out because you don't want any obstruction when you're driving. But nobody here, and I'm telling you with PBSO, nobody's going to be hard on you if we see you driving with a handicap sticker, because we're assuming that you're eventually going to park, and we don't know if you just came out of a spot. But in theory, it would be probably better for you to take the handicap sticker out to be a safer driver for yourself. Hopefully that hasn't caused any accidents in here. Yeah. Well, we know that people sometimes don't follow the rules, but that's okay.
Thank you. I see our fire department is here.
Good morning, Century Village. It's Al Polverani. How's everyone doing today? From Palm Beach County Professional Firefighters Union 2928. I represent the men and women of Palm Beach County's union. I'd like to see everyone. The crowd has dwindled. Some people have gone back. Some people are staying. For the people that are staying, I just started training, and like my other brothers and sisters do, we start preparing for the heat. So I started working out with my gear on, but I make sure I drink a lot of water. So I need you all to understand that heat can be very dangerous. That to talk to your doctor, make sure that you have proper hydration, but get out and exercise. You know, the pool is your friend. I just started my pool work. I'm on the dive team, so it's a great time of year for me to kind of transition. Did my bunker gear work, got really hot, so my body acclimates to that. So when I'm on the highway and it's 150 degrees on the tarmac or in the middle of the highway, I don't pass out in front of a call. So my body knows what it feels like, but I'm telling you, make sure you know what it feels like for yourself when you're going for your walks. Do it early in the morning, later at night when the sun's down. Bring a bottle of water. If your friend's coming along, bring a bottle of water for them too. Hey, where's your bottle of water? I don't have one. Well, here, sip on this while we're walking, right? Because I've seen a lot of people over my career, 20 plus years, fall out, go unconscious, and then now they're a trauma alert. Now they got to get surgery. They broke their hip. Right? Let's try to prevent that, right? Especially with certain types of medications. I'm not a doctor. Go talk to your doctor about that. The other thing is smoke detectors. If you have any grandkids that come to visit you during the summer with the car seats, make sure you remember, or if you have family members or anyone, do not leave them in the car, right? They're all, I'm going to run in and run out. No, that's not how it works, okay? So here in Florida, it's deadly heat. Dogs and animals, same things. We will take your window and we will smash your window to get a dog out or a kid. I'm not going to hesitate to not smash your window. I'm not going to ask for if you're not near your car, if it's okay if I can smash your window. I'm going to smash the window and get the kid out, right? So that's just how it is deadly, right? So if you see somebody, speak up. Right? It's good to speak up in your community. That's why you guys are coming to these meetings. Speak up. Say, hey, no, sir or ma'am, you can't leave your dog in there. Well, the AC's running. No, you need to bring them in there. Tell the manager he's, like he said, he can fib a little bit or whatever. It's a service dog. Bring your dog in there with you, because the worst thing you want to do is come out with a dead dog, right? So just the heat's coming. That's my big warning, and I have to bring up what you don't want me to talk about, but I have to talk about it every year. Hurricane season. Start preparing now. Have a plan. Talk to your family up north. Where are you going? How am I getting there? Right? So that's what I have for you guys. Really think about it. High water. We're going to start getting those heavy rains. Hopefully, my grass is pretty dry. Don't drive through high water, right? Because especially at night, you'll look at the canals and you'll think it's just roadway, and you'll end up in a 15, 20-foot canal, and then you have bigger problems, right? So don't drive through it, back up, wait until the water subsides. If you can, walk on dry land to your house, park your car somewhere else. That's the safer route. And that's all I have, especially with the with construction too, and everybody on their cell phone. You have to be the ones that have to pay attention and be the smarter driver. Okay, everyone else is on their cell phone, TikToking or whatever those younger people are doing, right? Be careful. They're not paying attention. I can tell you right now. We're going to car accidents right now, and it reminds us of drunk drivers. Drunk drivers just go right through whatever they hit. Same thing with these cell phones. They're looking down. I'm hoping the car industry eventually makes a car that can block you from either shut your phone down for that other than emergencies, because no good. Anybody have any questions? Nope. All right. Well, the men and women over here at Station 23 in Palm Beach County, we were the little kids with the rubber helmet on, and we appreciate you guys for letting everyone in this room let us serve you. Right? This is a childhood thing. We wanted to do this. I remember Cheeseway Fire Department running around with my little plastic helmet on firefighter day, saying, I want to do this when I get older. Little did I know I'd be doing this 20 years. So thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Okay. I need a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented.
I make a motion, accept the meeting
Oh.
as presented.
Okay.
What
John Malloy, and it was seconded by somebody back there. What is your name? Richard? All right, we have okay, there's a correction to the minutes? Come to the microphone. Richard, I couldn't understand the last name. Butler. Thank you.
Elaine Brown, Sussex L. I think after President's report, it should begin with the online gate access program. What? It's not just 6 permanent guests. This is in reference to the gate access online list.
All right, thank you.
I have a correction to the minutes. Jean Berman, Northampton N. Under the law enforcement, questions about traffic flow on the first page of the notes. It talks about raised medium is planned for the area at Alora Apartments. The word should be median, M-E-D-I-A-N, because it's not a medium. I mean, a medium is somebody who tells you what's going to happen. So maybe there would be a medium to tell us when it's going to happen, but that's not what was intended.
Oh, okay. It's on the first page over here. Over here.
Oh, median. Okay.
Thank you.
Spelling correction. I don't know what it is that.
All right. Are there any other corrections? So the minutes will be accepted as presented. Okay. Going to go a little bit out of order today. Usually I wait to be last, but I'm going to be first. Couple of things. We have a long agenda today, and there'll be somebody coming in at 11 o'clock. I recommend that most of you stay and listen to that presentation. July 1st, most of this stuff is in your package. The permanent guest list will be eliminated to the first 6 people on the list. I would suggest for those of you that use that permanent guest list to go on there. Anybody that you're not using, a caretaker, a plumber, remove them. There seems to be some confusion. We have 165 delegates in the House, so we can conduct business. We're no longer giving out blank COAs at the UCO office or at the ID office here. We did this 5 years ago because of COVID. We tried to make it as easily as possible for people to be able to conduct business, but now people are abusing the system. WPRF will no longer accept a certificate of approval for a rental extension with 1 signature. Got to have 2 signatures. If you only have 1 officer, you're going to have your management company do the signing, the second signature. If UCO tries to do most of the investigations for you, we now have associations that are doing their own investigations or that they're using Seacrest. If you use Seacrest, you have to ask them, once they've completed the investigation, to make up a form for you. Don't let them do the investigation, come to UCO and say, I need a blank form. You're not going to get it. If you have a rental extension, you need to bring the lease, one of the officers, not the renter, not the unit owner, or the manager, or an association officer comes to UCO investigations. You bring in the lease, and we will type up a new form for you. There seems to be a lot of confusion about this. If you have an occupant, which is neither on the lease, all you do is bring in the form that you used last year, and we will type up a new form for you, because there's no paperwork to that, okay? I strongly recommend, there seems to be, he's my friend, he's been living in Century Village for 10 years, we don't need to investigate him. Our policy is that everybody should be investigated, everybody. There are associations that are choosing not to do that, and they turn out that they have issues. So our stance is investigate everybody. If an association does their own investigation, you should be printing up your own forms. I'm going to say it again. Type it up. I would suggest that you seek legal counsel on that every option that you're supposed to be on there is on there. And again, all COAs, whether it's an occupant or an owner, is going to require 2 signatures. I'm looking for a new person for the advisory committee, a chairperson. So if anybody here has any inkling that they would like to head that committee, it's an important committee. It's one of the only chairs I've not been able to fill. I've had 2 people step up to the plate and resign the next day. So it requires a little bit of work on your part, and we'll be happy to help you. The Coffee with the President started off last month. It's the second Friday of the month from 9:30 till 11:30. Carolyn has been calling the association. So far, it has been a positive result. In April, 15 people signed up, 12 showed up. We hand out a lot of information. The nice part about it is that it was so well received that on the third Friday of the month, it'll be open to anyone that wants to come, whether you're an owner, whether you're a renter. It'll be in room C here in the building, the third Friday of every month from now until December. The room has been booked. It's not as in-depth as what goes on with one-on-one with me, but I suggest anybody that wants to learn what their responsibility, what UCO's responsibility, what WPRF does, come to that specific meeting. Olga, you're standing here, you have a question?
Yes, I need some clarity. I'm a little confused here. Is it true that UCO has no responsibility in getting involved in any association? Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. If that is true, then why is it that a person could not go directly to get an occupancy renewal to the ID office without the ID office saying you cannot get it unless you have this form filled out by UCO?
That's not true.
Well, this is what I was just told at the ID office.
They told you that the form has to be filled out by the association.
They did not say that.
Well, then go talk to Eva.
Thank you.
Because Eva, myself, and Donald have put this in writing. She knows what the procedure is, and if somebody in her office is giving the wrong information, she needs to straighten that out.
Thank you. I will go back to the ID office and let them know that. Thank you for the clarity.
No problem. The last thing that I want to do, I know that there's some misnomer that UCO does nothing, that people at UCO just sit around, drink coffee, and eat cake. So, and believe it or not, people do believe that. But just to give you an update, for the last 4 months, this is from January of 2024 to April 30th, our barcodes, gate passes, and extensions of barcodes serviced 1,584 residents. Okay? So you multiply that out, how much work is being done, and it's basically being done by 1 or 2 people. Our insurance person, Michael Bunk, has handled 120 people actually coming into the office. That doesn't include the phone calls, that doesn't include emails, just people signing in, because we have a log. We know who comes into the office. Our investigation handled, in 4 months, 384 investigations. Now, I know we have a lot of math geniuses out there, but for those of you that are a little slow like me, we helped 2,088 residents in 4 months in Century Village. Basically done 100% by volunteers, and they deserve a round of applause. They really do. And what we don't take into consideration is the work that the vice presidents do, the work that Ruth does, running the paper. This is above and beyond everybody that comes in, and I really don't want to have where everybody comes in have a sign-in. But these are the basic functions of what we're supposed to do, and I think we're doing a hell of a job. So, okay. Thank you. All right. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. Woo. Mr. David Boaz, I understand, has a result of our election.
I will go into the hermetically sealed envelope. And before I go in there, I just once again thank Ken Groff and John Gregg for their excellent work, and also for the gals that do the sign-in sheets. It wouldn't be possible without them. Thank you again. Here are the results. Kelly Jensen, 88 votes. He will be the new recording secretary. Bobby Levin had 54 votes, and Gene Berman and Bob Rivera had 11 votes each. Congratulations to all the candidates that stepped up. Thank you.
And thank you to the delegates that came in and voted. Okay. Do we have any unfinished business? Anything that anybody would like to bring up? I hear a hand. Go ahead, Bobby. Unfinished business. All right. Save it for the good of you. Very good. All right. Yes, ma'am. There's a microphone back there if you would like to speak.
Joyce Singerman, Oxford 400. As far as the certificates of approval are concerned, if associations have the forms, can they complete it without going into, for a rental extension and occupancy extension?
If it's a rental extension, you
Yes.
need a copy of the lease brought to the officers of the building prior to the expiration that the person has. You need to bring that into UCO, and we will type one up for you.
Even for an extension?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
other words,
Yes, ma'am.
The association can no longer complete the form?
Exactly.
Why?
Okay,
They've
ahead.
already been investigated.
all right.
Hi, Joyce. Okay, so you're talking about an extension either of a rental lease or of an occupancy, correct?
Correct, on both.
Okay. And tell me your question again so that I understand.
Whether the association
Okay.
can complete the form,
Yes,
sign it, affix the seal.
Right.
And give it to the occupants.
okay.
To go to get their ID card.
There's no reason why you can't,
Right.
as long as the ID office is willing to accept it, and that's their issue. We don't suggest that. We suggest you come in, bring the lease, bring the permission for occupancy, which has to be renewed once a year. Let us print it out, the COA for you, and I think you'll find that your resident has much easier time at the ID office because it's clear, and what is it, one extra trip to UCO. We get you in and
Donald,
out.
that's a.
We get you in and out in 5 minutes. And remember, when none of you,
requiring the board
and remember, when
members-
none of you are here, you have a manager, and your manager can do that for you as well. Okay? But other than that, it's up to you how you want to run your shop.
So, I mean, these individuals have already been investigated.
This is, we're not,
So we should take it up with Eva, is what you're saying?
no. If you have a renewal lease or a renewal occupancy,
Right.
just bring the paperwork into Yuko. We'd be happy to print you out a COA, and then you just take that COA, sign it, seal it, bring it to the ID office.
Donald, I understand that,
All
but
right.
that requires more work for the association, for
And-
board members.
And being on a board, unfortunately, does involve some work. So I'm not sure what your question is. So then
I was asking
use your
if
own
we have
form
the
and
form, can we-
manage your association as you see fit. We're just not going to facilitate that for you. So
Oh,
it's your house. You run it the way you want. Okay?
well, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
as far as that goes, you just took away the option for a landlord to do a month-to-month, all right? In other words, as an extension.
That's part of it, yes.
Okay, well, I mean, is that
But
legal
it's
for you to
also
do that?
involving the association that technically the renter should be giving the lease 30 days before it expires to the board, not showing up the day before and say, I need a certificate of occupancy, and the board says, go to the ID office and they'll give you a certificate. And then we find out that there's issues. Certain boards are run perfectly, certain boards are not. So I'm sorry that if you feel that you're being picked on, but this is a procedure that needs to be followed. One of them is yes. Anybody that gives a lease for less than 6 months, there's ramifications for that, and the board should be involved with it, okay? Plus, board members should know who's in their building. And we've had several board members approve people, and the rest of the board doesn't know that they're there. And then they come to Yuko and say, well, why are these people in my building? So it's up to the boards to monitor themselves. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not done.
Okay, all right, Bob.
I'm sorry. The other thing that I want to discuss is the election. All right, I had sent an email. You guys are telling me I had to have it in writing. However, I sent an email. It's from my email, so you know I pulled out of the election for a few reasons, one of them being that we spent all this money on clickers. We could have done this election quickly with the clickers because I pulled out and there were only 3 candidates. All right? Why wasn't that? Why did we spend money on other people?
Because we wanted we wanted a paper trail. This is where there can be no
Okay.
questions, Bob.
We spent all this money on the clickers. Why are we not using them?
We will be using the clickers. Okay.
This is ridiculous.
Yes.
I have a question.
Speak into the microphone, please.
Kay Heilman. And I live in Sussex A, and this has nothing to do with the approval.
Talk into the microphones. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I live in Sussex A. My only problem is, I have talked to security about this problem. There's a man that goes down by our areas in our recycle bins, the papers, and he takes our personal papers out of them recycle bins. I've told him several times, don't do it. I talked to security and they said there's nothing we can do about that.
It's not a security issue, ma'am.
So there's nothing we can do, him taking our papers and putting it in a box.
It's called PBSO 911.
Okay.
Get a shredder and shred anything
Make
with
sure
your
that your people
personal
shred
information.
whatever goes in there, so no personal information can be illegally gotten.
Okay, thank
All right?
you.
Yes, sir.
On the COAs, if 2 board members bring the paperwork in and have the seal with them, can we take care of it in one trip?
Sure. You're
Okay.
talking about a rental extension.
Yes.
Yeah, well, You still have to come into the office with the lease. We'll type it up. You don't have to have two people come in. One person can bring it in, goes back to their association, puts a seal, second signature, and you're done.
So instead of coming back, I was wondering if the board, two board members came and we brought the seal with us, if we
Sure.
could just do it all at once.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Niels wanted to say something.
Yes, Niels? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Donna Clark. I am from Bedford. I'm a snowbird. I have a couple of concerns that I have to present. The first one is the safety of the village. I was wondering if the area in Turtle Bay could be totally defoliaged before they even start building, so people feel a little safer in here. Because there are people that are, as you know, there's issues in there. I'm not going to go through the problems with the undesirables, et cetera. But can the owner of that property get in there and clear all of that out?
Hi, I actually have information on that. I communicated recently with the project manager for Reflection Bay, and he tells me that the next step in their process is to clear the land, which is basically cut down exactly what you described.
Okay.
They're waiting on permits.
Okay.
As soon as they get the permits, that's the next thing that's going to happen, and this is the reason why. Just to it's providing cover, and it's a constant problem getting people out of that.
Correct.
And
That's why
so-
I was wondering if, but that's a
Yes,
reason that
absolutely.
you need the
That
permit.
came up already.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The other issue I'm having is with the cable company, okay? I'm here since January. I've had 3 servicemen, and the 4th is coming today, and I've had 3 new quote unquote, they're not new, that I found out, cable boxes. I was told by each serviceman, my wiring is perfect, my signal is perfect, the boxes need to be changed. They're all recycled boxes.
Okay, are you
Therefore-
talking about a TiVo box or the other box?
Yes, no, I have 2 boxes. And the main TV is my TiVo box.
Right.
In my other TV, I have that little box with just basic cable, which is no problem at all. It's the TiVo box that's the constant issue. Constant. I could be on the phone every
All
day
right.
with Breeze
Could
Line,
you
but
come
I don't-
into the office, bring me your bill, and this afternoon, bring me your bill, I'll sit down with me, and I will take all the information so we can get the history on it, and I'll see if I can help you out.
Sure, well, they are, believe me when I tell you, they're very nice over the phone, and they have given me credit, and they're going to give me another credit. But the problem is, there's always an issue. So I'm in constant contact with them, so I've done what I can, and according to the people who come to replace the box, it's the box. It's not my line, and it's not my wiring.
Please come into the office, let me help you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
Anything else?
Yes, I have another issue. Okay, yeah, make it worth it. Okay. The other thing I'm concerned about is the Haverhill entrance. Do you have any idea when the beautification committee is going to be started again? I heard it was disbanded, it's not
Was not
around.
disbanded.
Okay. Hiatus, whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any idea of when they're going to be working again?
My understanding, it's soon, right, Stuart?
Yes.
Yes, Stuart is in chair of that committee. He's right
Okay.
there.
I've heard soon for 2 years now. I'm just saying, I'm not being facetious, but it's, when you drive into Haverhill, those hibiscus plants are horrendous. And I've been coming here even before as a snowbird because my mom was here. When you get to that main intersection before the clubhouse and you have that nice greenery on the side with the palms, they always had annual flowers there. They don't have anything, and the ground covering needs to be replaced. I really don't think you're keeping up with the so-called aesthetics of the community, but that's just my opinion. And I was wondering if you have any plans of getting the people together to do something. That's the other issue. So do you know if they're going to be gathering again, or you don't know?
Ma'am, 2 things. Stu, I'll grab it. You will see a very soon meeting of the Beautification Committee, I agree with you. There are some areas that need attention that should be done by a committee and not by a single person. That is in the works, okay? I'm going to tell you in advance that we have budgetary restraints and priorities, and that's why we have a committee. As far as that hibiscus hedge, that hedge has had so much bad luck, I can't even tell you. But right now, the state of it that you're seeing is the annual hard pruning, which happens every year at really the driest time of the year. It will always come back, and it comes back stronger and nicer every time.
I understand
it's getting
that, but a
plenty of
lot of
water
them
and-
are all the way bent over, and you have quite a few areas
Yeah.
that have spaces.
Yeah,
So,
so
Okay.
definitely on the list, but did you have another concern about
Yes.
about landscaping?
no, I don't.
Okay.
The other concern I have is about pool IDs.
Okay,
I'm a
so that- so
snowbird.
we're-
I'm a
We're
snowbird.
gonna stop you there, because obviously you got quite a list. The
No,
thing
I
you-
only
the-
have one more
I
thing.
understand, but the thing you're about to talk about doesn't belong in this meeting. That's a WPRF concern. You can bring it to the administrator here, Eva Richesky, or you can come to the Joint Operations Committee, which happens once a month at the party room, and that's where matters about the clubhouse and the pools are discussed.
Okay, that's
right?
great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hi, good morning. My name is Flo Simpson. Donald, this question is for you. I'm sorry. Donald, this question is for you. I know as I'm driving around as a COP, I see people.
I see you driving around as a COP.
Well, that's not my question. But I see people do throw a lot of their personal item in that recycle bin.
Yeah.
And they think that recycle bin they are going to get shredded, but they're not. They just go to recycling. People get a hold to it. Because like the police was telling us, we're putting too much of our stuff out there and people getting hold of it. So can we have that recycle truck come back, that shredder truck
We're
come
working
back
on that, Flo.
about once a month?
I don't know about once a month, but we're working on it.
Yeah, everything is being worked on, but nothing's having to show
Well,
up.
we have to.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way,
Flo?
I signed up to be on the beautification committee. So far, every committee I signed up, Flo is not allowed to be on them. But maybe I'll get on that, probably because I'm so beautiful. That's a lot.
Michael Brenner.
Yes, sir.
Sussex E. I have a comment for the woman who was talking about Breeze Line. No cable company today uses new equipment. Every cable company is using recycled equipment. Cable TV is going to become a thing of the past because of all the streaming services. So bear with Breeze Line. They do the best they can, but you've got to remember, I've had 7 TiVo boxes replaced since they took over, and it's continuous. All that has to happen is a lightning strike, and there goes my TiVo box. So you just have to bear with Breeze Line and be prepared for sometime in the near future that there will be no cable TV. It will all be streaming services.
Okay. All right. We need to move on. I'd like to bring up John Timmerman's name to be put onto the executive board. The officers have approved them. The executive board has approved them. I would like to have a motion off the floor in a second, and the delegates vote. Those of you that don't know, John is standing right there. Stand up, wave to the people. Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion. Joyce made a motion. John Hess seconds the motion. By a show of hands, are there any discussion, any questions on the motion? Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand. Appointing John to the open position on the executive board. Hello? Yeah, raise your delegate's flag. That's what you got them for, people. There you go. All right. All right. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Any opposed? 1, 2, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opposed. 8, I see a hand behind somebody's head over there. Okay. Motion carries. All right. We're going to go to officers' reports. We're going to start with our treasurer, Joanne. We shut you out. I think it's got to go up.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see everybody out. Well, I have two things. I'm going to be really quick. We've got a lot to get to today. I have two things. One is, for the first time in quite a while, our funds are now making money instead of costing us money to be in the bank. By just simply streamlining and, putting a little bit of our money in appropriate places, not changing anything, just using what we had available to us, we're now making an annual percentage rate of 4.25% on a money market at Truist. So instead of spending $80 a month to keep the money there, it'll be making 4%. So we have the committee now, our finance committee has been meeting, and we're putting together our cash program, which will continue. That was the first step, to take advantage of what we've got. Without, a whole lot of effort, we were able to do that. So we're going to expand that a little bit. And then over the summer, we're going to have budget town hall meetings again, like we used to have, so that we can go, and it's not the most exciting stuff in the world, but we get a chance to sit down as a community and talk about those things that are in our budget, whether we want to keep them that way, whether we want to change them, whether we want to add things. But, it's sort of a necessary evil to go through the particulars of this stuff. And to be sure that everyone understands, because it's a lot. Our budgets are a lot, and they do go up. There's no way to avoid things going up. So we have to make those decisions. But stay tuned. You'll hear more over the summer about that sort of stuff. And the other thing that we, on the Finance Committee, I noticed when I started looking into things, our accounts receivable, although it's not, we don't have any major problem, it's just sluggish. People know, people learn. You can float checks. So we really need to tighten up on that. The Finance Committee is putting together a group where we're going to be a little bit more proactive. Donald and Fausto have been working with me to keep things so that they're not a problem. They're up to, kind of up to date, if you will. But we want to tighten that up so that we don't have any cash flow problems, because that's what it creates. People get into that 90-day past due point, and you have to spend time to get them to make the checks and follow up. And we just want to try and get people to practice a little bit more, better accounting principles, shall we say, just more timely. So we're working on that to make sure that nobody gets sort of too far in arrears that we have a problem. But we have a couple of people that kind of skirt the outside of, well, they could be in a problem if nobody followed up with them. But that's it. Those are the two things I wanted to let you all know. And anybody can come up to the office anytime you have any specific questions. Of course, the financial reports are attached to your agenda package today. So, thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Okay. Donald, you're up.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm sure you've all noticed the Department of Motor Vehicles booth that was in the lobby today. Even right now, there are 30 people lined up. It was an overwhelming response. I frankly didn't expect that many people to use the service, so obviously we're going to bring it back, and I'll give more information as I know about it. Fausto mentioned this earlier. Directly after this meeting, there will be a Palm Beach County Town Hall meeting from various officials from Palm Beach County. The topic is the development of the vacant parcel on Okeechobee Boulevard between UCO and the Wells Fargo building and the library. It's the intention of the county commissioners that this parcel be developed for housing. So this is the community's opportunity to ask questions, voice concerns, and hear about the process of how that works. So I hope you'll all stay and get some information directly from the source. This is the time of year where I go around the village and I start looking at lighting, street lights, association lights, other lighting. We occasionally have trip and fall claims because of a lack of lighting. This is kind of a cooperative effort. The street lights belong to FP&L. UCO pays rent on them, and they take care of them. And I'm actually going out once a week and looking for dark street lights and sending the reports. Many of the buildings have what are called barn lights on the approach walkways. Those need to be checked. If you see a barn light out, you got to get with your property manager and get those lights straightened out, because that's a place where people fairly regularly trip and fall. So you want to light those areas up as much as possible. And there are other areas as well. On the 7th, next week, I believe that is a Tuesday, the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, DBPR, will be coming here to Century Village, to our clubhouse, to give the board certification course. This is a time of year where you have new people on the boards. They have 90 days to be certified and to take that class. So we were glad to bring DBPR in. They're going to give the course, and you'll get a certificate if you show up. We will videotape the meeting, the presentation, so that you can watch it, but you have to show up in person if you want to get a certificate. Other than that, I have just one little pet peeve. This is the time of year where some of the associations have garage sales. And this is an association decision. We ask that these garage sales take place basically on the lawns and not in the parking areas, and definitely not in the through streets. We had a situation last week where so many people showed up at the garage sale, the garbage truck, and the bus couldn't get through. So we had to send security to do traffic control. So we ask that if you do have a garage sale, that you have it on the property, on the lawn, rather than where the cars would normally be. And please, no signage. If you put up signage, it'll just be taken down as soon as you put it up. All right? That's all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions or address any concerns that you guys might have.
Come to the microphone, please. Thank you.
Good morning.
Oops. Good morning. I'm Sheila Butler from Northampton. Oh,
Hi, Mrs. Butler.
hi. The course that DBPR is going to give, is it the same one that Becker gave a few months back?
Yes,
Thank
just
you.
another shot for those who missed it. And Becker will be back as well, and DBPR will be back also in the fall. We're going to bring back DBPR monthly on a number of topics, but we're just going to start off with this one. So you'll see more of that in my report and in the media. Okay? Oh, so you caught me cold.
10
I think
o'clock?
10 o'clock. All right.
Donald.
Hi,
Hey,
Richard.
Just two things. One, tell that big fireman guy to lower the mic when he leaves so that people don't have to
Yeah,
fight
really.
it. And secondly, is the town hall in here or?
Yes,
in
right here.
Right
So you
here.
can just hang out. I just got a text. They're on their way over. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. David Boaz.
We have a large agenda, and I really don't have much to discuss, so I'll cede my minutes to whoever needs them.
Okay. Patricia.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see all of you. I'd like to start by first making a comment. I firmly believe, and always have, even when I was an office manager, legal secretary, etc., that sarcasm, derogatory remarks, criticism, if it's not constructive, is a waste of time. It's not effective for the people. I'm always willing to hear something that's constructive. I'm not willing to hear nonsense. If you have a legitimate complaint, I will listen, and I'll always help people, as people know in this village, whether I'm in your quadrant or not. Having said that, I'll move on to say that it's nice to see that people have an interest, came and vote, and that's great. Again, I will talk about the same thing over and over again. I'm constantly, every day almost, getting complaints about the bus stops, what stops they need. I cut people short, and I'm not a rude person, but it's a waste of time, and I have a lot to do. Please put whatever you want the company to know in writing. It goes out immediately when I get it. They do, as far as I was told by them, they do call people and respond to most of the complaints. I know there are a lot of people who want more stops. It's an impossibility at this time. It really is. If we put one more stop on there, it's going to change the contract, and it's going to cost a lot more money, and you can't do it just for a couple of people. When the majority of people speak up and they let me know there's a real problem, as it was done in the past, I will see to it that they take care of it. So please, don't waste your time and my time. Just put it in writing. I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to read, and I'm willing to pass it on. And if you want to attend my meeting, I did change the time to make it more convenient for those who complained about the buses. The meeting is now at 12 instead of 1:30. So please come and hear what they have to say. Thank you very much and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Patricia. Stuart.
First, I'd like to wish the moms in the audience happy Mother's Day. There are a few issues that I'd like to discuss. You know what they say about the best laid plans? It doesn't always work out. UCO, a few years ago, put a package together. I was on that committee. We worked very, very hard, put a package together to discuss what UCO does, how they do it, how they get people to participate, and so on. Everything that UCO could do was listed in this package. Some people have read it, and they take advantage of what we do, and there are others that don't read it and have absolutely no idea what UCO does, and they go off by themselves. You remember the concept of Century Village was a retirement community, and people who lived here over a long period of time took interest in their building and participated in everything that went on. Well, times have changed, partially because of economics, partially because people pass away and the children are not interested in the buildings. And so we have more and more people coming in who don't live here full time. And as a result, their interest is someplace else and not what goes on in Century Village. And as a result, these are the people that create many of the problems that were discussed here today. I'll give you an example. Somebody complained that the area in which they lived is too dark. Donald goes ahead and puts lights on. Then we get people coming in, the lights are too bright, I can't sleep. It's not funny, because we get this all the time. And it's very, very difficult when somebody comes in and says, my president is mean to me. My president is wearing a crown. She thinks, or he thinks, that he's a king. We at UCO can't do anything about people's personalities and how they treat members of their associations. We will try the best of our ability to ameliorate the problems that you have so that you are satisfied, and that's what we're doing. I want to talk about security, because that's the other thing that I'm in charge of. Golf's Edge, last night, they broke into all of the laundry rooms. This is the second time it happened. There was hardly any money there, but the locks and everything were ripped off. Now, no matter what you do, and we know this for a fact, When somebody wants to commit a crime, they're going to commit a crime. And there's nothing that security in Century Village could do about it. What you as an individual could do is put a lock on your door, close your windows, put cameras up, observe. If you have a problem, you see something, call the police, get security if they can. But these are things that our society is facing. There's not a darn thing we could do about it. The other thing I want to go ahead and mention is beautification. There are only certain areas in Century Village that beautification deals with. When you see certain areas that look quite drab, it is not UCO's problem, it is the association's issues. If they are not dealing with it, then we can't go in there, knock on their door and say, you spend money, put plants. You can't do that. I had somebody come in this morning while I was sitting out there and wanted to know why we don't have fancy lights on all of the trees coming into the village. Well, we have issues. Donald has talked about this time and time again. We have electrical issues. It costs a fortune to rip up all the electrical wires and put new ones in order to give you fancy lights. So we try to work around it. We are, in UCO, proactive when we think we have to do something, and reactive when something comes up that has never happened before. We try to resolve it to the satisfaction of everybody that is involved. And I've talked too much, but as a former teacher, I can't shut my mouth. Okay. Tomorrow is the big race. Next.
Okay. Thank you, Stuart. Jerry, you're up.
Good morning, everybody. Just to follow up on what Stuart just said, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. A couple of issues that came to my attention this month, which I want to share with you. I had an owner come into my office said that the board member just handed me an amendment that he just wrote about rentals and told me I have to follow that. And I looked at him and I said, well, did they follow the procedure about amendments? And there is a procedure. You just can't write an amendment in the morning and give it to an owner later on in the day. You have to go to an attorney, you have to get it written up, it has to be voted on, et cetera, et cetera. The point being is that everybody should make sure in their association that your documents are updated to 2024. There are associations who have documents that are dated 1999, 2000, 2001. I would strongly urge that you look at your documents, read your documents, see what dates they were promulgated, and bring them up to date. If you can't do it in 1 year, do it in 2 or 3 years. And this has to be done with an attorney. And the association owners have to vote on it. The board could propose, but the owners have the final say. Somebody came into me and asked me about painting in the building. And I said, the board, again, they could give you samples. They can't say we're going to paint the building chartreuse. The owners have to vote on what color they want the building to be. Excuse me. Then I had somebody come in and ask me a question about remodeling and renovating. And just to be very clear, and I just want to read something to everybody, the board of directors must remind their association members that material alterations to the unit requires board approval prior to work commencing. The unit owner must provide appropriate documentation, including license, proof of insurance from the vendor, drawings, and the Palm Beach County permit application, and has to secure written permission from the board. It's really important that unlicensed or unpermitted work, construction work, cannot take place. It's dangerous. It causes a danger not only to you, but to the people who live above you or beside you or below you. And if you do have an issue, I will contact Donald immediately, and we'll have a stop work order put on that apartment. Now, there was a question, well, can the association put something in writing? Is there something in writing that UCO has? I know for a fact UCO has nothing in writing about permissions and so on, but the association can put together a form that the owner has to sign and that the owner gives to the contractor, and everything has to be brought to the board prior to getting approval and permits from the county. Yeah, there are certain things, if you go online and if you Google, you'll find Palm Beach County, there are certain things that do not require a permit. But I strongly urge the board members here, before anybody owner wants to do work, they follow your procedure, which is to get the written materials, the written forms, and have you look it over, and then either give them an approval or don't give them an approval. Okay. I have asked a representative from Stolen Building Solutions to come down and speak about the milestone report and the structural integrity reserve. He's going to come out sometime this May, and I'll put an announcement about it. But with regard to the structural integrity reserve, there is going to be a significant impact to 3- and 4-story buildings with regard to maintenance fees and reserves and so on. So I would urge you, if you're here, come listen to the speaker, ask questions, because by 2026, this is going to have to be in place. And if you haven't done your milestone report, and again, this is for 3- and 4-story buildings, you have to the end of December to have it done. Two more things. I was informed by my friend in the insurance office that certain buildings have aged roofs. Insurance companies are sending drones to take pictures of your roofs, those who have aged roofs, and it will be a significant impact on your insurance premiums coming up later on this year. And finally, as the fireman just said, hurricane season is less than a month away, and they are predicting a busy hurricane season this year. Now is the time to repair. If you're going away for the season, make sure somebody checks on your apartment, and make sure that preparations, if you're staying, are there in place, perishable, non-perishable, et cetera, and that's it.
Thank you, Jerry. Dominic, our in-house engineer.
Good morning.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, just a few things I want to touch base on about the laundry room. Locks are important, and cameras. We have, I'm John Timmerman, Canterbury F. We have a camera inside the laundry room and outside the laundry room and on the catwalks. And we had a laundry bandit, and that's the name I gave the person. They had family visiting Florida, staying in Boynton, Delray, and they were bringing those people's laundry to our laundry room. And I'm catching this person on camera, and she's in the laundry room 4 hours a day. I was like, this is ridiculous. She's not even staying in her condo, so we put an end to that. You have to enforce your rules. It's not easy, and you get stuff thrown back at you. Do you enforce all the rules on everybody, or are you just picking on me? You know, so the cameras work. We've gotten rid of 2 laundry bandits out of my laundry room. And we have a brand new laundry room, new machines, new dryer, new hot water heater, and everything. Just want to throw that out there. Yesterday, I was coming back from Okeechobee through the gate to the stop sign, second in line to go across, and this vehicle comes flying up behind me, cuts to the right, and I wish I had a radar. I guarantee you he was going 40 to 50 miles an hour straight through the stop sign. Went down probably about a quarter mile before the turns, pulls in, jumps out, runs up the stairs to a condo, and I followed him. And I was PO'd, you know. So I had a few words with the man. But
Shouldn't do that.
I know.
It's not a good thing.
I didn't, wasn't that bad, but security was right behind me. He got out, he took their plate number, and this gentleman was in such a rush. He was only there to drop off a key because he was doing, I guess he was finished doing whatever he was doing as far as construction or painting in the condo itself. But I said to him, I said, you didn't have like 4 extra minutes to stop? You could have created, I mean, there was a car coming this way, there was a car here. I mean, these two side cars would have pulled out, there would have been a major accident.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was reported to Donald Judd.
Hey, John, listen, we appreciate your concern about speeding and safety, and we all share that sentiment. But I'm going to just caution the Assembly. We really shouldn't be chasing after speeders and having confrontations with them.
Well, can we take pictures of them and the plates?
Hang on one second, John. Hang on one second, John. I'm going to continue. We do have PBSO on the property. They're the ones that enforce traffic laws and speeding, and they do a pretty good job. You're going to hear later today at the security meeting how many tickets they gave out this month, and it's a lot. So, John, like I said, I appreciate what you're doing, but let's just not encourage.
No, I'm not encouraging people to chase after them. I mean, that was my choice. But
No, not a
was
choice.
this reported to you?
No, I'm not a policeman, John, so no, it wasn't reported to me. And at any rate, it's the
So are
cover-
we allowed to take, get their plate?
No.
No, John, we prefer you not.
So we just close our eye to it and just let them do it then?
If you want to call the police and report, by all
Yeah,
means, but.
he's got to do what he's got to do, and he's out of here. By the time the police get there, nothing's
Yeah,
going to happen.
we have policemen to take care of those problems for us, okay?
It's
Thanks, John.
unfortunate, but PBSO has told us unless they actually see, nothing will work.
So we're allowing these contractors to come in here and break our rules.
That's it.
I mean, if I got to follow the rule, then so should these contractors. That's
And
the issue.
That's why PBSO is in here, and that's why they hand out summonses. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Dominic.
Oh, I just woke up. I'm talking to add on to what the gentlemen have said about the coming stormy season, and for you people to think about is your gutters that carry the water away, and we've had a few incidents where the building has cracked in the middle, and the 1, 2, 3, number 2 was slipping away, and the reason is that they have no gutters. The water has fallen off the edge of the roof, washing away the soil against the building and creating a river so that this sand is being pushed down into the pond, and there's less and less support on the back wall. So this is something you should be looking at, and doing shingles. It's time to try lining up roofers that are going to be able to get you there before the 2021 and 22 and 23 storms. So if you need any questioning about how but not who, we can't give out names or products. Come to UCO, and I'll do the best I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Okay. We have our COP report. Mr. Plotnick, you got 2 minutes. We're short on time.
Good morning, everyone. Just a small thing. I'm going to extend what was said earlier about the temperatures and all with the heat coming up. I have with me a pair of sunglasses that was left in the car. If anybody wants to see them, I'll be up front here later. The temperatures inside the car, I've put thermometers in the car in the middle of the day in the heat, goes up to 140 degrees. So things you left in the car, especially if you have pets or you have some of your grandchildren coming here, if you leave them in the car, they're going to get cooked. So that's the big thing I would like to incite to everyone here. don't leave anything in the car. And I hope everybody stays safe.
Thank you. Okay. Niels, you're up.
Hi, Niels.
I'll keep it real short. So today, I'd really like you to stick around for the presentation, the town hall that we have afterwards. This is relative to the property outside of the gates. It's 6.3 acres, and the county has designated it for affordable housing. Greg is out of town, but he always wants to make sure that we're represented here, so that's why I'm here. And it's Greg who pushed for this meeting. He wants you guys to be informed about what's going on there, and he wants you guys to voice and express concerns if you have them. So if you care what's going out there, please stick around. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Jean Enright, Port Commissioner.
Good morning, Century Village. I'm just going to be a minute. I'm Dr. Jean Enright. I'm your Port of Palm Beach Commissioner. Some of you might not understand, but there are 5 Port Commissioners. There are 4 Port Commissioners who you elected. I'm Dr. Jean Enright, Wayne Richards, Blair Sicklin, and Dr. DeAndre Poole. We're your elected Port Commissioners. We have another one who was just appointed, but not elected. And I just want you to just realize that I work for you. I worked for you for 20 years, and I will continue. Also, I just want to tell you that we have the Margaritaville, which is our sailing ship, and I would like for all of you to look online because we have a lot of discounts for seniors. In addition to that, in July, we will have another cruise, which will be a cruise to Key West. The ship will go to Key West, stay for a day. You can get out and tour Key West, and then go to Grand Bahama Island. Then go to the Bahamas, Grand Bahama Island. So I would like for you to just look online. You can see some goodies, and hopefully you'll sail with us. But remember my name. I'm Dr. Jean Enright. I'm your Port Commissioner. And remember, there are 5 of us, and I want you to just really, I see an article about the one who was appointed. And remember, unless you see Dr. Enright, my name, Dr. DeAndre Poole, Wayne Richards, or Blair Sicklin, ignore it. I'm just telling you, because we're the people who you elected and who are here for you, and we're all Democrats. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we're going to have Ms. Ruth from our UCO reporter.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Mother's Day for the 3rd time. By now, you have your May issue. I hope you enjoyed it. There are a lot of notices in there of importance to you, good articles. We try to make it a newspaper and not a penny saver. For everyone on stage who does a column, your copy is due next Friday, the 10th. And if anyone in the audience can write or knows somebody who can write an article of interest, send it to me by next Friday, and it will be considered. Through March, the reporter was ahead $1,366. We're in the black again. We're doing well. We're keeping ahead of our printing costs. And that's my report. See you next month.
Thank you. Amy, you're up.
Good morning. My name is Amy Ebersbach. I work in Constitutional Tax Collector Ann M. Gannon's office. I just wanted to reiterate what a couple people have mentioned. Right around the corner, we're not happy about it, but it's hurricane season. Next week is Hurricane Awareness Preparedness Week, and I want to let you know the Tax Collector's Office offers these handy pocket-sized hurricane guides that will, watch me demonstrate, open up into this large publication that basically goes over everything you need to do to prepare. So if you would like a copy, you can request at pbctax.com and we will get them out to you. Or I will be in the lobby when we're done in here, because I know you have something else coming up. I have a supply, so you can just grab some from me then. And I will also bring some to the UCO office. Thank you so much. You guys have a great weekend.
Okay. Daniel Eisinger. He's from the Palm Beach County Defender's Office.
Yep, Palm Beach County Public Defender's Office. Thank you for that. I'll just be a minute. My name is Dan Eisinger. I'm currently the Chief Assistant Public Defender. So we are the biggest law firm in Palm Beach County, believe it or not. We have a budget of about $18 million, 100 lawyers, and 100 staff members. So just one public service announcement about the folks that were asking about sort of people looking through your stuff after you put it on the tree lawn. So you can call PBSO, but unfortunately that really isn't a crime. I've actually researched this as a lawyer. Once it's sort of in that public property area, people kind of get free game at your stuff. That's why they can take things that you're throwing away, like furniture and things like that. So I surely do encourage you to either buy a shredder, that's what I have, or you can take a black magic marker and cross out your confidential information, or if you have the time, really cut it up into small itty-bitty pieces so nobody could take it. Now, it is a crime, obviously, to take that information and do something fraudulent with it, but looking at it or taking it isn't a crime. So real quick, I just want to say I am running for public defender. That's an elected position here in Florida. Carrie Howitt is your current public defender. She's retiring, and I've been her chief assistant for the last 6 or 7 years, and I've been at the office 20 years. So public safety is something that we care a lot about as well. I'm on multiple task force and meetings and commissions, because we know better than anybody why folks do commit some crimes and how to make sure they don't continue to. So I've been doing that work for 20 years, and I'm really proud of what we've accomplished. So remember, in August, I'm Dan Eisinger, and I'm running for public defender. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have somebody here from the clerk of the courts.
Good morning, Century Village. I am Andrew Watt with the Clerk of the Courts and Comptroller's Office. Two of the big things we are just preaching over and over and over: property fraud alert that we offer. It is a free service. Anything that is done against your property in your name, you go online, mypalmbeachclerk.com, put in your information, you will get an alert if anybody tries to file anything against your property. So especially as we go into hurricane season, if we do get hit with something, a lot of times you have a lot of out-of-state folks coming in. They'll try to start fixing stuff. They'll have you sign a bunch of paperwork. And we've seen people will not realize they're signing over ownership of their property. So things like that, make sure you sign up. It's free. It's easy. It'll literally take you 2 minutes to fill in the information. And it is the easiest way to protect your biggest asset, which is your home. The other thing that we just released this month, it is our checks and balances. It is a guide of what the county finances look like for the last year. One of the other parts of our job is, as comptroller, we oversee all the finances for the county. It's approximately $4 billion that we oversee. We do the investments, we make sure everything is properly funded, we make sure that nobody is doing anything fraudulent with your tax dollars, and we also invest your tax dollars. Last year, we had the highest return on investments. We are giving back $172 million to the county to use towards other budgetary needs that they need that they would not have had otherwise. That you can also find on mypalmbeachclerk.com. It's right on the front. It's a quick, easy read. It tells you what's going on. It shows you mortgages, deeds, all the economic highlights of what's going on in our county. So if you have any other questions later on, I will be here, and please, please, please try to sign up for our property fraud alert. Thank you, and I would be remiss as a son and not wish Happy Mother's Day as well, because my wife would kill me as the mother of our 3 kids, too.
Thank you. All right. We'll go to the good of the order. Bobby, you want to say something?
In the last reporter, there was an announcement for a UCO transportation excursion trip to the CBS TV studios on May 10th. That's next Friday. I had a couple of cancellations this morning, so there are a few seats left on the bus. They have a fabulous morning planned for us over there. I will stand up here when the meeting is over, along with Diane, the woman with the blue hair from the Transportation Committee. Anybody that wants to make a reservation should see us immediately. Thank you.
You're going to have to do that in the lobby.
All right.
Because we have somebody making a presentation at 11 o'clock.
All right, then we'll
Okay.
be outside the lobby.
All right. Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name's Lee Hunt. I just wanted to make a couple of suggestions to the folks out there. A couple of things that were brought up today I wanted to just mention. First of all, Mr. Richland has made some good comments about the lack of knowledge of the board members who are trying to run their boards. A lot of them are up north, and they don't have a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge. UCO is basically an advisory board, right? I mean, an advisory group. What is advisory? Advisory is people who give advice. They give really good advice. Not all the advice is helpful advice, though. Some people have complained about the way they are, talked to in the office and that sort of thing. But I have a lot of respect for these guys because they come up here every day and they try to do a good job and they try to give advice, and that's good. However, they're not the only game in town. So what I would like to suggest is that there are other avenues that you can go to for advice and for help and to learn and to get educated on how to run your boards. Mr. Richland, I believe, mentioned in the UCO committee meeting a couple of days ago on April 26th that if he had to give grades to you folks, he would give more Fs than he would As. So, and he's right about that. There are some people who really just don't know a whole lot. Well, thanks to one of our esteemed colleagues and owners in our Century Village community here, Kelly Jansen, who was just elected the recording secretary, he started a group, and he doesn't know I'm going to say this, and I hope he doesn't, get mad at me for promoting him. But the Board Synergy Club is a group that he started along with Donna and a couple other people. And there are a lot of people on that club that have been running boards, been working with people, have extensive knowledge and experience, who can help you with your problems and your issues on your board. So if you want to go to the Board Synergy Club,
I'm going to have to stop you.
Well,
I'm going to have to stop you.
Why is that?
First of all, your time is up. And,
I didn't know there was a time limit.
Yes, there is. And I think what you're being discussed doesn't belong here.
Well, it does. Thank you, everyone. Let him know how you feel. He's on one hand, they're saying that they don't want us to help. They want to be the only ones to help. However, they turn right around and criticize you folks for not having knowledge and being ignorant. So I'm giving you an opportunity to do, have another alternative, which is to join the club or come and listen to the club's meetings and find out more about it. So I'll continue this at the next month's meeting. Thank you all.
Fausto, can I make a comment, please?
Yes.
One of the things I do up here is time the people that are up here. Now, Mr. Hunt was told that his time was up, and he was not courteous to anybody here. He kept on talking. I'm sorry, that's not proper behavior, and I give the same amount of time to everybody that comes up here. Thank you.
Okay. Excuse me. Yes. I have to end this meeting, but go ahead, Les.
Yeah, Les Rivkin, and I'm here with the hat that I wear as president of the African American Culture Club. And this month, our potluck on the 26th, we want to honor veterans. And if you know any veterans who would like to join us, just to come and enjoy the socialization with us,
from 3 to 5, Sunday to 26.
Yes,
Thank
okay.
you.
All right. Yes, sir.
Bruce Stutzman, Wellington. Just to end this meeting on a positive note, I continue to be impressed with the quality of the UCO reporter, and I hope that we can find associations that we can submit this to for some kind of an award and recognition. I would call for an applause on behalf of our editor.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion so we can carry on. Joyce made a motion, seconded by? All right. Thank you. Now the nonsense